Hi there, Dietitian Teresa here, and I'm coming at you with another mini Aldi haul. This is actually not very mini, but it is pretty standard size today for a little grocery haul. I didn't get everything that I was anticipating at Aldi. Just timing was off and some things just weren't stocked. So that's okay. But I will just go through what I got today and I will tell you how I'm gonna use them throughout the week. So yeah, let's get started. First, we'll start off with like carb sources. I got a couple of sweet potatoes. I had an extra one here and I'm gonna roast up some sweet potatoes, probably to make ground beef bowls. There's this viral ground beef bowl with cottage cheese, avocado, that kind of stuff, but it's viral now, but like that's literally how we eat and make those ground beef bowls with just sweet potato, avocado. In this viral like video, they add like hot honey. So I'm gonna experiment with making my own hot honey because we have a lot of honey here. That's how I'm using the sweet potatoes. And then I did buy a great big bag of just regular gold potatoes that I'm gonna dice up and use for various meals. Probably with some pork shoulder that I'm throwing in the crock pot to make some pulled pork up, that and green beans, and keep it easy. Then we did need to restock on some rice, so I did buy some rice just as a staple carbohydrate source at our meals, and it's super easy to include and add to anything. So I'm making taco bowls for lunch this week, and I'm gonna add those with that. I'm making chicken taco bowls, and it's gonna be very basic and simple with these taco bowls. It's like the rice, beans, chicken, some shredded lettuce. I already have salsa and cheese, so I'm like, perfect. I might as well just throw together some taco bowls. And then I did buy some avocados to top off those taco bowls, but also for breakfast and the ground beef bowls that we're gonna have. We love avocados. These ones are really, honestly, they're not ripe at all, and I don't think they are gonna be for a few days. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them into a brown paper sack, and that actually helps these, like the enzymatic process, help with avocados to make them ripen faster. So like if you ever have like a rock solid avocado and you want it to be more ripe like sooner, and rather than waiting a week for it to happen, I just throw this, like usually like a lunch paper bag can work, but since it's like a whole bag, I just get a great big grocery sack that's a paper bag, and then I'll put that in there, and then I'll just leave it sit on the counter. It's something about it being in the dark place, but then with the paper and like the avocado and like it's really weird, but if you try it, it works. So a brown paper sack is gonna help your avocados ripen faster. And then as another carb source, we are running low on oats. So I had bought oats for oatmeal, overnight oats, and just some other recipes. I like making gluten-free banana bread with this, and nothing super crazy with that. Bought some tortillas, and I'm gonna make some breakfast burritos for meal prep, which is gonna include eggs, peppers, pork sausage, and cheese. And I'm gonna include that in these breakfast burritos so that those are ready to go. Had to buy some ketchup as a staple. Dark chocolate chips. I like getting the dark chocolate morsels. The dark chocolate chunks, I really love the 62%, but they're just like, they're $5 a bag, and these are like $2. So as a dietitian, you know me, and if you've been watching my channel for a long time, it's really about what you do consistently throughout the week. So like if you get something like this, like I love dark chocolate, so it's okay to me, like if it's not like, oh, organic or naturally sourced all of the time. It's just very realistic, especially when you're balling on a budget, which I feel like everybody is these days, especially when it comes to groceries, and you can still nourish your body really well with various food items while balling on a budget. Then I got some marinara, and I actually have Alfredo in the cupboard right now, and I have chickpea noodles. So I'm like, okay, how can I make a pasta dish, but maybe mix it up? I'm a girl that likes Alfredo and red sauce, like a pink sauce mixed together. So I'm like, okay, mix the marinara with the Alfredo and the chickpea pasta, and then I'll probably throw in a pound of ground beef. So that way I'm not just using regular pasta, I'm getting in a little bit more protein and fiber from the chickpea pasta. And I also bought that chickpea pasta from Aldi last week, and I didn't get to use it last week, so I'm gonna use it this week. And I'm gonna make like a little pasta dish there. And so my brain works that way. I'm like, what can I throw together and make it as easy as possible, but nourishing too. Garlic, onion powder, staples in my seasonings and adding flavor. And then I just got some green beans for sides. Usually I get frozen, but the can have just been so easy and I don't really want to prep things. And that's just very realistic for me right now. So I did get about a half gallon of 2% milk. We'll use that for like overnight oats. We'll use that in Ninja Creamies when we make them. Then I got 2 packs of chicken thighs and I got these ready to go. I'll probably batch prep these and just have those ready to go in the fridge so I can pair them with a lot of things and use those as my protein for the chicken tacos too. And I know some people are like, oh, chicken thighs, chicken breast is superior. Sure, I mean, in the realistic world, like if you are on like a fat loss journey or something like that, sometimes it is easier to get a leaner source of protein, like a chicken breast or a chicken tenderloin than a chicken thigh, because that allows leniency to add fats elsewhere, like from butter, avocados, nuts and seeds, things like that. But I am currently not in that journey, so I am all for like the chicken thighs. Plus they are cheaper per pound usually, and you can just make the meal work, like modify it a little bit. Like if you were watching macros and you really wanted to pay attention to your fat content, overgo the fat content at a certain meal, then what I would do is like if I was using chicken thighs instead of chicken breast, I would just look, okay, how much toppings am I using? Full fat sour creams, cheeses, avocado, dressings on this meal? Can I maybe lessen that because there's more fat coming from this chicken and add flavor elsewhere? Is it maybe some lemon juice? Is it seasonings? Is it like vinegar? Like whatever that be. But you don't have to deprive yourself of the fat source. Yeah, I get it. Butter's good, cheese is good, but sometimes you just knock that back a little bit. If you're putting in half cup of cheese in a meal or your salads, maybe you knock that down to a quarter cup of cheese. If you're using like the chicken thighs, and you get that balance of macronutrients in there too. So you're not, again, overblowing the fats. Because fats are important, but we don't necessarily need to have like 40, 50 grams of fat in a meal. That would be hard on your digestion. And then I got some shredded lettuce for like, just for the taco bowls, just add some volume. Something about shredded lettuce just is perfect. And then I got 2 bags of frozen broccoli. I will add those to a meal, probably with like the potatoes, some broccoli, and a protein. So that's really how my mind works. And then I got frozen blueberries, of course, and I add these into my yogurts. I'll have them on the side for breakfast. I'll add them on top of cottage cheese, in a smoothie, really you name it, like frozen fruit all the way. But I know summertime is coming around the corner, so the fresh fruit will be in season, and watermelon season's here, and it'll be awesome. Yeah, that's all I got. I was supposed to get cottage cheese and bananas, but they ran out. So cottage cheese would have been a very good staple that I would have put into some meals, just add some protein. Plus I like cottage cheese. And then bananas as that quick carb source, so like for working out, like a really nice carb source there. Add that peanut butter toast, whatever. And then I'm also making a sourdough this week, so I'm going to be making sourdough bread, and I'm making that from scratch, so that I didn't need to necessarily buy bread. And that's another way you can save in the long run too, is if you put in a little bit of work. I mean, it's not that labor intensive with sourdough. But yeah, that's my Aldi haul today, and hope you enjoyed and got some tips and tricks on how to maybe utilize some of these ingredients and how you can maybe modify it to tailor it towards your goals. If you're still tuning in, thanks for watching. Stay strong, stay nourished, and I will see you in the next video.